Why do two-light setups sometimes look artificial in photos? Imagine walking into a studio and seeing a portrait that looks a little too perfect, a little too staged. Sometimes, two-light setups can create images that feel unnatural or overly polished. You might wonder why that happens, especially since two lights are such a popular choice for many photographers. Well, the truth is, it all comes down to how the lights are positioned, their intensity, and how they interact with the subject and environment. When lights are placed symmetrically or too close to the subject, they can produce very even, flat lighting that lacks the subtle shadows and gradations we see in real life. This uniformity can make the photo look less natural. The type of light also plays a big role. Hard light from small, focused sources creates sharp shadows that can look dramatic but sometimes too harsh, making the image feel less genuine. On the other hand, soft light from diffusers or larger sources can flatten features if both lights produce similar softness. This reduces the natural contours of the face or object, giving a two-dimensional look. Another factor is the relationship between the main light, called the key light, and the secondary light, called the fill light. If the fill light is too strong, it fills in all shadows completely, removing depth cues and making the subject appear flat and overly even. If it is too weak or absent, harsh shadows can dominate, which might look unflattering or unnatural. The background and surrounding environment also matter. When the focus is solely on the subject with little regard for background lighting, the subject can seem disconnected from the scene. This disconnection adds to the artificial feeling. Plus, not using light-shaping tools like reflectors, grids, or flags can cause light spill and uneven illumination, which does not mimic how natural light behaves. To make two-light setups look more natural, photographers often adjust the position of the lights to create softer fall-off and more realistic shadow shapes. Using diffusers or modifiers helps soften the light edges without eliminating shadows entirely. Controlling the ratio between the key and fill lights keeps the image from looking too flat or too harsh. Adding background or rim lights can help separate the subject from the background, giving a three-dimensional feel. Reflectors are also useful for bouncing natural-looking light into shadows subtly. In the end, two-light setups can sometimes look artificial because they produce lighting patterns that lack the complexity of natural light. When lights are placed or modified without paying attention to shadow quality, softness, and background integration, the result can feel staged or overly perfect. By carefully controlling these elements, you can create images that look more natural, lively, and true to life.